Those
num-nums.
All right. Hey, we were talking brakes and stopping the car, but even if your brakes are working perfectly fine, now stop me if I'm wrong, Rennick, even if your brakes are working perfectly fine without good tires, doesn't matter.
That's correct.
Yeah.
You basically have nothing to your car. That's their shoes. Yeah.
Your shoes.
So
I love it.
you really want to have a good pair of shoes on your car.
Well, I have on the line a good friend of mine, Dwayne. He just recently retired from one of the major tire retailers, and so I'm thinking he knows a thing or two about tires. How you doing this evening, Dwayne?
Hey, I'm doing good, guys. I'm doing good.
Fantastic.
Did you just say he tired from the tire
place? Yeah,
That's fabulous.
Tired of the tires, yeah.
Well, how are you, Dwayne?
Hey, I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on.
So we're talking tires. We're talking, safety, in general, and tires are a critical part of safety. You got any tidbits to share?
Yeah, that term was used.
Yeah, safety.
Yeah.
You got any tidbits that you would want to share with somebody that say they didn't know anything about tires? The importance of maintenance?
Didn't know anything.
Yeah. How are you supposed to take care of them?
The best thing is check the inflation, which should be at least done once a month, especially as the colder weather's going in. We're not getting those 70s anymore, so you're losing pounds every 2 weeks, and people really don't know that.
Well, I didn't realize that.
Neither did I.
Yeah, as it gets under 32 degrees, you lose a pound about every 2 weeks.
Wow. Is it just from the contraction, or
right? And they've got helium-based tires now that help slow that down, but it's still even helium tires, you lose pounds.
Wow. That's
so you get back into the summer months, when it gets back over 65 and 70, you won't increase that pressure back up ever. So it's really important to check your tires in the wintertime.
So aside from inflation, tread depth is important. I know that.
Oh, yeah. As somebody mentioned there earlier, I use that terminology too. You need good shoes on your tires. That's what I consider them as shoes. Some people, they'll go out and they'll buy them a pair of Converse and basketball shoes, and they want track shoes for running. Well, your car needs the same sense. You've got to have good quality tires on your vehicle just to stop it alone, much less keep handling.
Amen.
That's right.
And air and gas tire?
What is the difference? Sorry, got a question for you. It's totally popped in my head when you said something about helium. Made me think of it. What are the pros and cons of having nitrous or having helium in your tires?
The fastest.
The nitrogen. Yeah, nitrogen. I meant nitrogen. Yeah.
What's the difference?
Nitrogen's gas. It doesn't seep through the rubber elements as easy as the regular air does. So that way it helps keep it inflated. And also for these hybrid cars and these cars that have the low rolling resistance rubbers put onto their tires to help maximize this 40 miles per gallon as we see nowadays, you need nitrogen in your tires to maximize that.
Well, that makes sense. We had heard that the nitrogen thing was a gimmick that was used for some purpose.
Something about supposedly it was lighter weight, so it made for get better gas mileage or some junk like that.
Yeah, so we're fact checking.
I don't know about the weight elements of it, but it definitely resists better for heat and cold air elements it does, rather than just regular air you put into your tire.
Well, that makes sense. Makes perfect sense, especially if the rubber is being made now in a different manner, and then it can be.
Oh, the compound.
Yeah, the compounds.
Yeah, the compounds are unbelievable nowadays.
Yeah, well, I went and bought tires for my truck here a while back, and they were like, "Oh, what size do you want?" And I was like, "Well, what size do I need?" And they were looking it over and telling me, and they fixed me up with a good tread width and depth and everything. And then the next thing he said was, "Well, do you want a little harder tire?" And I was like, "What do I want a harder tire? Am I going to drive nails with it?" And what what? Right. Can you explain to me a little bit of difference? What difference does that make in my tires? Put them on my car, I drive them. What do I care how hard the rubber is?
Well, because for one, you get your performance, you get your handling, you get water resistance, you get quieter rides. It breaks down to a classification that it's almost like what kind of steak do you want to eat?
Oh, wow.
Do you have your regular sirloin, or do you want filet mignon? it's pretty technical, and people don't realize how crazily technical tires can be. But when you get down to wanting you have a performance car tire, do you have a summer tire, do you have a winter tire? Some people don't even know there are a difference between summer and winter tires.
Right.
You get a summer tire out here in this ice like last weekend, and you're going to be part of this 100-car pilots we have around the city.
Or that, you're going to have a whole heck of a lot of fun in a parking lot somewhere.
Be like peanuts on ice.
Done that a few times.
Not advised by me, but yeah.
Hey, and you can do donuts in a front-wheel drive car. Don't let them fool you.
I seen it.
You just have to do it backwards.
Only in Oklahoma, right?
I did it in Wisconsin. What are you talking about?
You can do it in drive, too. It just takes a little more work.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
Well, that's a lot of really great information.
Yeah, it is. Hey, what density tires would I need to make my ride quiet as possible? Because there are enough kids riding in it to make it too loud enough.
Well, your tires have sipes on the sides, which allows the travel of the sound. And your tires, the thicker your tire you have, the bigger echoing sound you get. So you need to be able to, as you're slamming that to the ground, as everybody only does the speed limits driving, but when you're hitting the speed limits, they produce air in between the tire and the ground. So you need to have an evacuation point called sipes, and that's the slices that you see along the edges of your tire, which are really necessary for a quiet ride and for performance. There's a lot of people think, oh, man, my tire's got good tread in the middle. But I got a front-wheel drive car, and every time I hit a green light, I act like I'm part of NASCAR, and I take off and I turn. And well, when you turn, the softer on the shoulder tires are the softest part of the tire. They wear off faster than the middle. But people get misconcepted. They look at the tire in the middle and they're like, oh, yeah, I'm great. I got the old penny trick, the head. I still see the head in the middle, but boy, the outsides are pretty thin.
That's some great information. Before I cut you off, before I break, we're getting ready to pay bills. What's the recommended best tire you would recommend overall?
Like in general, like general purpose.
A general purpose tire?
Yeah.
There's different brands. As long as you have a good AA traction tire, which every tire indicates on the side, and you need that at least. And if not, a AAA would be great, of course. But that's where you're getting into your higher classes of payment.
Well, Dee, why don't you hang out with us? What you're teaching us is some great stuff. We got to stop, take a break real quick, and we'll get right back to you in just a minute.
Sounds great.
You're listening to Cruise Control with Mike and Dan. We'll be right back after this short break. Thanks for listening. You stay right here with us on Cruise Control,
the Radio Oklahoma Network.
Why am I so real? But they don't understand me.
Cattle producers, there's no need to take chances on poor performance with your stockers on wheat pasture. Try Sweet Licks Rumensin blocks today. These convenient blocks deliver Rumensin for growth promotion and high-quality nutrition all in one package. For just pennies per head per day, stockers with the Rumensin Advantage can achieve 20 pounds or more per head of initial selling weight during a 100-day grazing period. Where else can you get that kind of return on investment? Stop in to see your nearest Sweet Licks supplier today. Always read and follow label directions.
Build resistance, resilience, and recovery into your agriculture operation with the No-Till on the Plains AIM Symposium presented by Green Cover Seed. Thursday, January 26th in Salina, Kansas, Odette Menard, Jay Fuhr, and Brian McCornack will discuss building a healthy system while managing for changing weather, disease pressure, pest invasion, and market fluctuations. Come early for the 21st Annual No-Till on the Plains Winter Conference. That's January 24th and 25th. Early bird pricing extended through December. Register now at notill.org.
Dear John, I was hoping it wouldn't come to this, but you've left me no choice. I'm leaving. Uncontrolled high blood pressure is really serious, and lately you seem to really not care. I've been there for you since day one, and I know you think I'm going to keep ticking, but no, my friend, I can quit whenever I want. Why can't we get back to the good times, when we were more active and ate more healthy foods, and you checked on me every once in a while? Is that too much to ask? I don't want to leave. But unless you stop ignoring me, what else am I supposed to do? Remember, when I quit, you quit. Sincerely, your heart.
Listen to your heart and don't let it quit on you. Doing the minimum to control your high blood pressure isn't doing enough. High blood pressure can lead to a stroke, heart attack, or death. Get your blood pressure to a healthy range before it's too late. For help keeping yours at a healthy range, text PRESSURE to 97779. A message from the American Heart Association, the American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
It's 40 minutes after the hour. That'd be 20 minutes before the hour. I guess it depends on how you look at stuff, right? You're listening to Cruise Control, Radio Oklahoma Network.
With me, Mike.
And Dan. And we've got Rennick on the line, our mechanic. We've got Dwayne, our tire guy.
You fellas say hi.
Hey.
Right, there they are.
Say, hey.
We got Fonzie on the line.
Oh, Fonzie there.
So we're going to have to go out to Pops and have us a soda.
Yes, we are. Now, you were saying something about a Pops challenge, Dan.
Well, I got to come up with a bet. We maybe you two on the line with us can help us out with this. I need to come up with some kind of a bet to do with weird soda flavors.
Wow.
Because, Pops has 700 flavors of soda. And they've got like 6 different flavors of baking soda, which is funny. But then at the same time, in the same conversation, we discussed they have a kosher soda.
They have bacon soda.
Bacon? Nah, not baking soda.
Flavored soda, not baking soda. Bacon soda.
Speaking of Pops, I actually have eaten there, and I did try a baking soda, and it tasted like bacon grease, carbonated.
Carbonated bacon grease.
Did it have the texture of drinking the bacon grease down your throat, too?
Yeah, actually did.
So did it have frat party written all over it, then?
Frat party.
Yeah. Definitely.
Remember that old...
That can't be kosher.
That old wise tale, drink some cod liver oil or some sort of oil to coat your...
To coat your, yeah. So you just...
So that you wouldn't get drunk as fast?
A bacon soda, and then go drinking?
Soda.
That's what I did it wrong. I never had the baking soda.
Baking soda.
Yeah.
It sounds so much like we're saying baking soda. Somebody's going to hear this and be like, that's it. They're going to eat a whole box of it and go drinking. Wonder why they got drunk. Oh, my goodness.
We can make that in the kitchen.
They come in frothing from the mouth.
I think you misheard what we were talking about.
It's science.
No, they've got like 700 flavors. And, I mean, they've got dill pickle flavors and a dill pickle soda. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. So, yeah, I'm trying to come up with a challenge. It's something that we can do so that the loser has to drink something that's just off the wall. We're already got a shaved head challenge coming with the smoking guns for MMA event. And basically, I back the police.
And I'm backing the firefighters.
And loser gets his head shaved by Rennick in the ring in May in the BOK.
Yeah, I've still got to learn how to do that, but I'll get back to you on that on YouTube.
How to use a straight razor?
Oh, I told you. Shutting us up, man. Getting our hair shaved by a mechanic? Come on. I wouldn't trust a beautician with a...
This mechanic's pretty handy with a straight razor.
You know, what's funny, I say I wouldn't trust a beautician with a straight razor. Dwayne's family owns a beauty supply place, so if we need a straight razor, we can get one.
Yeah, we could definitely we can provide you.
That's great.
Shave all the heads.
We got a straight razor from State Beauty Supply.
So what you're saying is you know a guy. That's twice I've been able to say that.
Twice. That is. Know a guy. You know a guy.
I know a guy.
That's a good time. So, we talked about fluids and tires, and, I mean, they go together. Moisture inside the tire. We talked about that briefly yesterday. How big of a problem is it if you have some moisture inside your tire?
It's really not that dramatic. I mean, it can. I mean, it doesn't really accumulate over half an ounce of moisture, and it will evaporate eventually once the tire does get hot enough, but it's not going to be a safety issue in any nature.
Okay, and as far as temperature on your tires, the freezing cold, does that tend to make them more brittle and make them more likely to blow out?
It does. It does in the sense, but that's just because rubber has a freezing point, and it's really got to be really cold. I mean, Arctic cold.
Mm-hmm. Okay. See, we're dismissing a lot of myth people talk about. You know, when it gets cold, your tires will blow out, and if you have too much water in them, they'll explode. You know, all this crazy stuff people say. It's kind of like the nitrogen thing they said was a myth.
This may sound totally ignorant, but I honestly had somebody ask me this